Hello, my name's Dan Harris. I'm the founder of the charity Neurodiversity in Business, and I've been desperately excited to get onto this podcast today. We've got some really amazing news, which I'm going to come to in a minute. But first of all, I'd like to introduce you to a personal hero of mine and also a hero of the Joshi Man, which is Mayor Anthony. Mayor Anthony is the mayor of a really important city in California called Burbank. Burbank is the media capital of the world. Globally, it's the most important place for media. And to have a leader, the mayor of a city like that, supporting neurodiversity in business's cause is huge. Mayor Anthony, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit more eloquently than I just did?
Sure. I got elected to this city of 105,000 people just a couple years ago in 2020. We have a very localized type of government where the mayor is sort of a rotating position. So I get to be mayor for a year. And the city here is very integral in film and television, animation, post-production. We are the home for Warner Brothers and Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, a number of other post-production and editing companies as well. So we call ourselves Media Capital because, everyone thinks Hollywood is the place where they make movies. And in fact, there's only one movie studio in Hollywood. Burbank has a huge outsized voice in the kinds of media that is consumed, like you said, worldwide. And when I was elected in 2020, I became the first openly autistic elected official west of the Mississippi, as they say, in the United States. So there's only been 4 openly autistic electeds since I was number 4. I was the 4th. And then in 2022, I finally got my official diagnosis. I was able to go through the process. It was a very difficult process to get those paperworks done and all of the, the legal framework and medical framework finished. And when I became mayor, I became the first diagnosed autistic mayor in the country.
Wow, that's huge. And look, that's where I was going with my introduction, which is we're super proud of leaders in public society business who are actually very open on where they are and who they are. So that's an amazing achievement. The first openly autistic mayor in the US. I wonder whether it was globally. Actually, do you know of any others outside?
I haven't done that kind of research.
I'll ask one of the team to look into it for us. But
let's do some digging.
Let's do some digging. So look, on to the kind of good news. So let me set the preface, and then you can tell me about what you're going to do in your city. So Neurodiversity in Business, we're hugely honoured to have fantastic support from the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, who's been a great friend of Neurodiversity in Business and for me personally. And he has set us the challenge to work with him to make London the Neuroinclusive Capital of the world. And when I took on that challenge, I said to Sadiq, actually, I don't really care about London. I know you do. I care about London being a role model and sharing everything we develop and enabling other countries to have a focus on this. And we came across each other on LinkedIn, didn't we? And you were hugely supportive of that effort. So I'd love to hear what you're going to do to take London's example and take it to the media capital of the world.
When I heard what your organization was doing in London, the Neuroinclusive London project, that really perked up my ears. and I did some digging, and I spoke with Lauren, one of your associates, about what it would take to do that. And in fact, she lives just up the road from me, so it worked out great. um, Last night at our official public meetings, we hold public meetings every 2 weeks. The agenda is open to anyone, and we have all kinds of colorful characters come down and do public commenting. If you've ever seen the show Parks and Recreation from NBC, they modeled their city government after Burbank. So we have a lot of fun at our meetings. And right at the end, the very last item on the agenda, I requested the city look into the Neuroinclusive London project and how we could model that here in Burbank. So I'm very excited to put that on the docket last night. We'll see what comes of it in the coming weeks and months. And I am very hopeful that we can do not just everything that you did in London, but even more. I want to beat the mayor of London on this and show him up.
Well, I will pass that message on to Sadiq, and that will only help us raise our game locally. But, it's a win for me, and it's a win for you, and a win for Sadiq. The fact that big, important cities, global cities around the world are actually starting to cooperate and realize that neurodiversity is prevalent. We are the 1 in 5. Why would you not be designing your cities, your education systems, your health systems, public policy around the needs of neurodivergent people? So I've got personal thank you, Mayor Anthony. You're setting a great example. And I guess let's talk about, how do we make this go stateswide, right? Where do we go next after the media capital of the world?
Well, we are right next door to Los Angeles, which is a very big city. I want to model this program here and make it palatable and easy to implement for all other cities in the U.S. But it's very easy for me to pick up a phone call and then call Mayor Karen Bass in Los Angeles and say, "Hey, Karen Bass, we did this. Let's go, step up." And her office has been very friendly to our office here. And I'm hopeful that this is something we can do the legwork on, put it together, package it real nice, and then send it on over, and she'll be able to, get Los Angeles, which is, 7 million people involved in this program. That would be huge.
Yeah, that would be huge. So let's just say we're going to achieve that, and I look forward to you having that call. And were we to achieve that, I think what we've then got is 3 global cities who are actually saying we should be designing for neuroinclusive people. So I would say, and I'm really interested in your views on this, Konstantine, what was your journey like, and how are things different now that leaders in the field like you are talking about autism or neurodiversity more generally? How, in your lifetime, how have you seen things change?
Yeah. This has been a very different conversation than I had even 10 years ago. I'm 42 now, and I was diagnosed at 28. So for me, seeing a change in our public advocacy, in our normalized discussions in, public and private life, it's radically different than when we were growing up. And it's hopeful. It's a step in the very right direction. I never thought that I would be an elected official, right? I never thought that I would run for office and sort of be the representation that I was hoping for. And when we have these conversations, when we get folks who, are neurotypical to support these movements and these priorities, it creates space for neurodivergent individuals to lead the charge. It makes the way for us to be more successful and to, win elected office and serve in higher positions, not just in government, but in business, in social spheres. There's a huge movement right now here in the film and television industry to include neurodivergent performers and writers in stories that talk about neurodiversity. Hire an autistic actor to play an autistic character. I know it sounds simple now, but you go back and you look at movies like Rain Man or What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and the idea that we should praise and give Oscars to individuals who are portraying folks that are just, out in the world. It seems kind of silly now. Why didn't we hire folks who are those neurotypes to play them on screen? So it's little stuff like that that has big impacts and big changes. Because for, every one of me that is successful in the field that I'm looking to achieve in, there's 100 individuals just like me who are struggling to get a job, to pay the rent.
Right.
They're having a hard time in their relationships, their personal, their romantic, their friend relationships. And how do we address those issues? And I think it starts with having that bigger conversation, to be visible, to be present, and tell people, look, I may be the mayor of a prominent city, but I'm not high functioning, as people like to call me. I struggle every day. Folks come up to me and be like, oh, wow, you must be so high functioning. And I'm like, I think my wife would disagree with you. So it's difficult. It's difficult. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a journey. And being open and honest about that, I allow people space to have those conversations. So many individuals have told me over the years that they love how just truthful I am. I don't try to sugarcoat it. I don't try to pretend like I'm okay or play at being neurotypical.
And that authenticity is such a valuable aspect in our public life, right? Because we want our elected representatives to have our interest at heart. So I would imagine that has been an amazing strength for you.
Yeah. It's gotten me in trouble sometimes, but sometimes I can be a little too honest. But I think that authenticity, I think living my truth and being open about who I am and how my life has been difficult is important. When I was campaigning for this seat, I talked about being homeless. I talked about struggling to pay the rent. I talked about not being able to hold down a typical 9-to-5 job. It's hard. It's hard. But I think that resonated with a lot of people. I think everyone is going through something. And so to know that we're all struggling, it's a very human thing.
Right. Absolutely. Well, look, thank you for sharing so openly and transparency. That definitely gives me a lot of energy, particularly as I look forward to where my Joshy man, my little boy, is going to be in 10, 15 years. And, you're a role model that he would look up to. I'm going to get across to LA one day and let him kind of meet you. That would be fantastic. And look, there's some positivity around neurodiversity business, which is we've got 700 of the biggest global organizations signed up. So we're talking about the likes of the Amazons, the Google, the McDonald's, JP Morgan, Oracle, all very famous and global American success stories. I wonder were I to visit your town in the media capital world, who are the big companies that we would look to sign up?
Well, I'll tell you right now. I mean, I could get you a meeting with Warner Brothers and with Disney.
Okay.
You know.
So Disney are a member already, I'm delighted to say, but we'd love that kind of local relationship as well. So yeah, Warner Brothers, I'm on the plane over there now, so that would be really exciting.
We'll do the WB backstage tour.
Okay, I look forward to it. And look, to conclude, what I would say is, hugely exciting that other big global cities are taking up this challenge that the London Mayor Sadiq Khan set neurodiversity in business and has been really supportive of. So thank you for your deep and comprehensive support on that. And I'm really excited to see where we go over the next year or two. And the second is, thank you, Konstantine, for just being a role model for autistic people globally. It's just been amazing to get to know you, and keep doing what you're doing, and keep shining that light for the autistic community.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all the work that you're doing. I think neurodiversity in business has a path forward ahead of where a lot of other places are trying to get to, and you're leading the charge on that. So that's just so incredible to see. And this initiative you've done in London, I think, has opened up a whole new avenue. I'm very, very excited for the work that you're doing. And yes, please come out to Burbank, come out to Southern California. We'll treat you to this lovely weather, and we'll have a day of it.
Fantastic. I look forward to it. Thank you for your time. And to everyone who's watching today, and particularly to those neurodivergent folk who are maybe disenfranchised through our education system, or potentially are struggling on that employment cycle to get a job, you can see what the art of the possible is. So stick in there and keep up everyone's hard work. Thank you for watching today.